basketball and how many people does it involve? Basketball is a team sport played between two teams. Each team consists of 5 starters and 7 players on the bench. The aim of the sport is to score points by shooting the ball into the basket of the opposing team and passing the ball through the hoop. What is the playing time? According to the rules of the International Basketball Federation, the game is played in 4 quarters of 10 minutes for a total of 40 minutes, and the team that scores the most points at the end of the competition is the winner. There is a 2-minute rest period between the periods, and a 15-minute halftime between the second and third periods. In NBA rules, the playing time is 4 periods of 12 minutes each, and the game lasts 48 minutes in total. In basketball, the clock is stopped when the game stops for any reason, or when the ball goes out of bounds. In an elimination-style game where one team must win by rule, if the normal time ends in a tie, a 5-minute overtime period is played, and if the overtime period also ends in a tie, the competition continues with a new 5-minute overtime period. With this logic, the competition continues until one team dominates the other. What are the characteristics of a basketball ball? Balls differ in diameter, circumference, weight, and material according to age groups. The balls used in professional men's matches are number 7, while the balls used in professional women's matches are number 6. These balls are produced according to International Basketball Federation and NBA standards. Ball number 6 has a diameter of 23 centimeters and a weight of approximately 510,567 grams. Ball number 7 has a diameter of 24 centimeters and weighs between 600,650 grams. Smaller sized balls are used for younger age groups. What are the dimensions of a basketball court? The basketball game is played on a rectangular court, and the playing field is defined by lines. There is a hoop at each end of the court, and there is a board on the hoops. The basketball court is 28 meters long and 15 meters wide. The free throw lines at both ends of the court are parallel to the length of the court and are 5,80 meters long. The three-point lines on both sides of the basketball court at the distance from the basket are drawn in an arc. According to international standards, the distance from the three-point lines to the basket is 6,75 meters, while in the NBA this distance is 7,24 meters. What are the basketball hoop dimensions? The height of the hoop from the ground is 3 meters 5 centimeters. The inner diameter of the hoop is 45 centimeters. The thickness of the hoop is between 1,6 centimeters and 2 centimeters. The width of the hoop is 1,80 centimeters and the height is 1 meter 5 centimeters. The height of the bottom edge of the board from the ground is 2 meters and 90 centimeters. The width of the rectangular line on the hoop board is 59 centimeters and the height is 45 centimeters. The thickness of the line on the hoop is 5 centimeters. The height of the net should be between 40 and 45 centimeters. How many points are basketball shots worth? In basketball, there are basically 1-point, 2-point, 3-point shots. Free throws are worth 1 point. Points made from inside the 3-point line are worth 2 points. Shots made from behind the 3-point line are worth 3 points. If a player is fouled during a shot and the shot scores, the offensive player is awarded an extra free throw. How many timeouts are there in basketball? In basketball, teams are allowed a total of 5 timeouts during the game. These timeouts can be used to adjust the offensive or defensive strategies of the teams, to make substitutions, or to allow players to rest. These timeouts are distributed equally between the two teams, and each team is given a total of 5 timeouts in the game, 2 for the first half and 3 for the second half. How many substitutions are there in basketball? There are unlimited substitutions in basketball. Substitutions can be made from the moment the game stops, since the game of basketball is a sport that is played very fast and requires high effort. What is the number of personal fouls in basketball? A player has 5 personal fouls. A player can commit a total of 5 personal fouls during the game, but when he commits the 5th foul, that player is out of the game for that match and can no longer take the court for his team in that match. This situation occurs because the player exceeds the foul limit and can affect the team's strategy, because another player has to enter the court instead of the player. How many team fouls are allowed in basketball? In this sport, when a team has a total of 4 team fouls in a period, each subsequent foul will entitle the opposing team to 1 free throw. What is the 24-second rule in basketball? When an offense starts, both teams have 24 seconds. As soon as the offense gets the ball, a 24-second clock starts. If a shot is not taken within 24 seconds or the ball does not hit the opponent's basket, this is called a timeout. In the case of a timeout, the ball is given to the opposing team and a new 24-second period begins for the next offense. This rule gives the offensive team the opportunity to organize their attack and score effectively, while increasing the chances for the opposing team to defend and steal the ball. It also encourages fast and efficient play and controls the tempo of the game. What is the 14-second rule in basketball? According to the rules of the game of basketball, if there is more than 14 seconds left on the offensive clock, the clock will be reset to 24 seconds. If there is less than 14 seconds left on the offensive clock, the offensive clock will be reset to 14 seconds. And if a team gets an offensive rebound, the offensive clock will be reset to 14 seconds. This rule aims to make the game faster and more fluid. What is the 8-second rule in basketball? The 8-second rule in basketball determines the time a team has to pass the ball from its own court to the opponent's court. If a team fails to pass the ball from its own court to the opponent's court within 8 seconds, the ball is given to the opposing team and is considered an offensive error. This rule is applied to increase the speed of the game by limiting the time for teams to attack and to make them more active on offense. What is the 5-second rule in basketball? A player can hold the ball and stand still for a maximum of 5 seconds without moving, and must pass, dribble, or shoot the ball before this time is up. What is the 3-second rule in basketball? It means that an offensive player cannot stand in a rectangular area called the paint for more than 3 seconds in the opponent's court. If the offensive player stays in this painted area for more than 3 seconds, the right of offense passes to the opposing team. How many referees are there in basketball? In this sport, there are 2 or 3 referees who take on various tasks. The most authorized referee of the game is the head referee. There are also table referees and time referees with various duties. What is a step in basketball? A faulty step in basketball is a 2-handed bounce of the ball, holding the ball while dribbling and then bouncing it again, taking 3 steps without bouncing the ball, or the ball hitting the foot. This is a game violation and the ball is awarded to the opposing team. Charging circle rule in basketball? The charging circle in basketball is located directly under the basket and is drawn in the shape of a semicircle. This area is designed to protect offensive players. If an offensive player steps into or touches the line of this semicircle while moving toward the basket, a charging foul is not called even if the defensive player remains stationary in that position. In other words, the defender cannot commit a charging foul within this area. Some special terms of basketball. Alley-oop. When an offensive player throws the ball close to the basket and another offensive player scores in the air with a dunk without bouncing the ball to the ground. Assist. A pass from an offensive player to a teammate that results in the teammate scoring. Bench. The area where the substitutes sit. Points scored by substitutes after they enter the game are also referred to as bench points. Painted area. The free throw line is the area between the basket and the sideline, usually colored, and is also called the 3-second lane because of the rule that the offensive player cannot stay there for more than 3 seconds. Block. A defensive player blocking an offensive player's shot. Steps. An erroneous bounce or movement of the ball. Crossover. When an offensive player with the ball in his hand changes hands in various ways, such as between the legs, from front to back, and hides the ball from the defender. Double-double. When a player reaches double digits in 2 of the 5 basic statistical metrics: points, assists, steals, rebounds, blocks. Reaching double digits in 3 metrics is called a triple-double, in 4 metrics is called a quadruple-double, and exceeding 10 points in all metrics is called a quintuple-double. Dribbling. The act of dribbling the ball by bouncing it. Fast break, when the offensive team goes on a fast break and catches the defense off guard. Stop jump shot, a jump shot by an offensive player. Panya, it is the square area behind the hoop, also known as the blackboard, and the shots hitting this square are called pan shots. Penetration is when an offensive player moves quickly towards the basket. Pick and roll, when an offensive player comes up to a teammate who is holding the ball, sets a screen, then moves to the basket, receives the pass and scores. Rebound, a defensive or offensive player's control of the ball that bounces off the basket or hoop. If the offensive team gets the ball, it is an offensive rebound. If the defensive team gets the ball, it is a defensive rebound. Screen, a blocking move in which an offensive player stands next to or behind a defensive player in order to prevent a teammate from shooting, passing, or dribbling the ball and to score. Free throw, a shot that is worth 1 point and occurs after a foul and is taken from the so-called free throw line. Slam dunk, when an offensive player jumps up and goes directly to the basket and puts the ball in the basket. Timeout, a timeout in a match. Layup, when an offensive player dribbles the ball, grabs it, takes 2 steps and scores. If you want more content like this, please don't forget to subscribe to our channel, like, share and comment on our content.